Silver hits a 14-year high. Not since 2011 have we seen the price of silver be this high. It's only going to go higher, people. You know that. We'll look at precious metals, gold, platinum, all that stuff. We'll do Bitcoin and crypto too. Having a little bit of a dip. Is it just a dip along the way, or are we done? Who knows? And you're also going to do, I'm going to do, not you, you're going to watch it, I'm going to do it, my brand new What I Learned This Week segment, because I have gone back to school, yes. Not the official school uniform or anything like that, but I'm back at school at the Mastering the Markets course, my year-long course. I'm going to teach you every week, or at least I'm going to tell you what's the kind of basics of what I learned this week. It's a way for me to imbibe and then impart so I understand it, if that makes sense. Anyway, we'll do all that. If you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite part. But if you're watching live, dang, you get to enjoy every single thing we do here at Good Morning Stackers! Extra long one, extra high too. Wow, good falsetto, Joe. With me, Joe Main. I've been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, a stacker of crypto since 2013. Worked for count them, three major gold and silver bullion dealers here in Australia. I do this show, I talk about all that stuff, and what we do in the first bit of the show, we do a synchronized slurp. Grab a tasty beverage. Have you got yours? I certainly got mine. Non-fluoridated water. You know how it works. And we slurp them synchronously together. You must do it audibly. That is the rule here at Good Morning Stackers. I don't care what you're doing. And it's the slurp heard around the world. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, slurp your tasty beverage. Hair's a little extra high today. I think I should have got that haircut a little bit shorter, just a little bit. Let's do some shout outs. And did you know that the show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, and Stormrake, stormrake.com, your full service cryptocurrency brokerage. Get lifetime 2% brokerage fees, not 3.5% like they normally charge, 2%. Ridiculous when you sign up with my link, which I'll put somewhere. Yeah. Some shout outs and then we'll get to the stuff of the day. I always do this every single time, but what I need you to do is help me out, people. Please give me a follow over here at x.com/it's Joe Main. Why? Well, why wouldn't you want to follow me on two different things? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Let's talk that. I just have to do this every single time because it helps me get trendy on the old X account. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. Let's do some shout outs and get to today's stuff. Good to see everyone here. Mark Florida says, "Hey Joe, clearly you have not called the COMEX and directed them to significantly drop the silver spot. Perhaps sometime today." Actually, perhaps sometime today. We'll take a look at the chart in just a moment. Now, that's really spongy today. Too much hairspray. And look, what goes up must come down. We might have a bit of a dip soon in silver, gold. We're having the dip in gold. Platinum, I think, is still heading down a bit. Okay, but you don't need to watch the show now. I've just given you the whole thing. Hey, gang, 3 cheers for silver. Yes, unfortunately, I didn't buy enough. Man. None of us did, Jason. None of us did. I totally understand. And I've got a reply to you, Jason, as well. I'll do that. Gerald Draper, good morning, Joe. Hey, Preci and L, morning, Joe. Morning. Watching on X, fantastic. The live chat works on X. If you're watching on X right now, get your comments, get your replies in, and everything like that. Be a part of the process. Silver Sushi says, cool, man. Silver Sushi, you're a new watcher. Been a fan since the Bullion Now days, my man. Good to see you, dude. I wish I had your knowledge. I got a lifetime of knowledge. If you know that movie reference, then you do. Yeah, good to see you, man. Silver Sushi, great name. I mean, literally 2 of my favorite things in the entire world, silver and sushi. Like, you just marry those together. Mate, that's the perfect channel. Right there. Morning, Stackers. Morning, Joe, says Jason Ashworth. Morning, Jason. It's good to see you. Hello, Monique. Monique? I forgot, was it Monique? It is Monique, isn't it? Yeah. That's right. Good to see everyone here. Let's get into today's stuff and I'll let other people come in and talk amongst yourselves. Silver has hit a 14-year high. Well, it's at a 14-year high. It probably hit it not that long ago. But let me show you the chart. We'll take a quick look at what we're doing at the moment on the chart and just... Again, this is just a celebratory rah silver channel at the moment, is it? It's going to $50. It's going to $100 in years to come. It's just looking absolutely fantastic. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS Family, follow me on X, please, and thank you. That's not the one I want. I don't want to look at that screen. I want this screen. Here we go. What? No, Joe. Not that screen. That screen. Yeah, here is silver on the weekly time frame, priced in USD $39.30, basically. TradingView.com website. And look where we are, dudes. This is just, I mean, look at that. Right there. We hit $39.50 overnight as such. I think it was a little bit yesterday. Looking fantastic. And we're just rocketing up. I think that's my silver analysis for today. That's pretty much all you need to know. We're over that key $35 level. Okay, now coming back in, now I will say, I'm not saying this is happening, but do not be surprised at all if you come back after we've broken out of this level here. Now this is the September 2011. Okay, hasn't been higher. It's at the highest point since then. We broke out of the February 2012 level of that 37.50. Do not be surprised if you come back to test 37.50. Okay, do not be surprised at all, because look at this on the weekly time frame. Price go up, price go down. I actually would not be at all surprised and wouldn't be shocked at all, not saying it's happening, if we come back and test 35 before we, test 50. Okay, maybe not 35, but that's the previous resistance level right there. That's there. Maybe 37.50 is more likely. Okay, but price go up, price go down. So we're not going to probably not going to straight shot it to $50. Why? Because markets go up, markets go down, markets zig, markets zag. Let's take a look at the daily and see where we are. And I'll pop on the relative strength index as well. That one. Okay. Looking a little peaky here. Okay, a little peaky. What I don't like what kind of concerns me is when I see the following. Not concerns. I'm not concerned for the price of platinum. I'm just thinking it's probably going to take a bit of a dip real soon, if not today, the next day, something like that. Is when you have this beautiful little consolidation move, like kind of an accumulation, right? Then you have a breakout, a bit of a dip. When you have such a quick move back up, so quickly, that kind of tells me potentially last little splurts of the gas tank before we take a little bit of a dip, and then it just needs to reset. Okay, so reset to a certain level. If we take it from this low and this high, it's probably the easiest. If this is the little high for now, and if we see some downward movement, some down days, what's the area which we could expect to get down to? That's anywhere between here and here, and you don't want to see that broken. That's anywhere between, there's that 36.90 area we've spoken about, so it's $37 to $37.95, and what's that, 37.50? Does that line up out of interest with anything? What's that level there? 37.50. Okay, so that's the 0.5 Fibonacci. Okay, so right there, if I go do that, Joe, what's the high? Yeah, $37.50, if you can see that right there. And that kind of lines up very well with the 0.5 over here, Joe. There you go. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Yeah, around about that 37.50 kind of mark. Cool. So on balance of probability, I do think we're going to see a bit of a dip in silver in the next couple of days. Just my humble opinion. I think I'm probably right on that. If you take a look at the 4-hour time frame, what you'll notice is some bearish divergence playing out, where you've got a higher high, then a lower high on the relative strength index. Usually indicates some kind of bearish divergence. Cool. A little bit of a dip probably coming, okay? And watch out anywhere between, as I said, $37.90 and $36.90, so a $1 range. And I would favor probably there at that $37.50-ish kind of mark, but anywhere down to there is fine. Just don't close below there, right? Get into here. What would be ultra bullish is bounce off the 0.236. Cool, no problem, whatever, just patterny, whatever, just heads down and then, back up, ignore the patterns, whatever, but you can sweep the low here, do something and then blah, 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 up and up. Ignore the actual price action there. Just don't want it to close below that 36.90 area. Thanks, because then it looks like you'll be correcting a larger move, potentially. That's it, so I'm expecting a dip on silver. on the short, real short term. We're just talking on the daily. Okay, if you take a look on the... That wasn't the one I wanted, Joe. Let's see if you take a look on the weekly. Look how good the weekly looks. I mean, that's just amazing. So that's what, 30... Yeah, see, this is the thing. If I show you on the weekly, here's the opposite end of that. Joe, look at the weekly, mate. You're mental. Why would we not just keep going up from here? Could absolutely be true. So it could be wrong. And look at the monthly. Dang. I mean, the monthly. No one is selling silver here who's any kind of long-term stacker. Okay, you'd be absolutely mental. Okay. Oh, I got in down here at what's $18. I got in down here around about 22 or that break of $26. I got in after the infamous $26 level was broken and finally held, which is right there. Broken and finally held. I've gotten here at 26. I'm getting out at $39.50. No. Okay, so this is just short-term movement. Look at the monthly. This looks absolutely amazing. And again, like the weekly looks pretty good too. You haven't even gotten into extremely overvalued yet, overbought. So yeah, on balance, I could be wrong, but I do think at least a dip today or the next couple of days. Yeah, something like that. And those are the levels to watch out for. That silver looking fantastic at a 14-year high. Good stuff for you and me. Let's see. Silver stocks, what have they done overnight? Silver stocks, this is First Majestic. Now I want to look at SIL, S-I-L. Here's SIL, it's the Global Silver Miners ETF. It's just kind of ranging, doing a little bit of a double toppy kind of thing maybe, quite potentially. So it might be taking a bit of a pause. Silver Junior Miners, let's see. Silver Junior Miners doing a similar kind of thing. Yeah. All right, just silver might need a little bit of a pause right about here. And then AG, which is the First Majestic Silver Corp, is also just ranging, really, not doing a lot. Okay, yeah, that's about it. Might need a little bit of a dip. You never know. Anyway, that is silver. Let's take a look at gold. We'll be getting to Bitcoin and crypto, etc. for all those people watching on X as well. We'll be talking TOSHI. We'll be talking some of my favorite crypto. And if you have some favorite crypto that you want me to have a look at, or a stock or whatever, get your chart requests in now, and I will give preference to super chats because that's when it pays me money, and that's what it helps put me through school, and I'll be talking about that very soon. Here is gold on the daily. Thanks. Daily time frame price in USD 3,388. Cool. Still technically, I have to say a new all-time high is coming for gold really soon because we are still above 3,375. What was looking really positive was that we broke up above this downtrend line, but failed move. Oftentimes from a failed move is a fast move in the opposite direction. I need 3,375 to be held. If you start breaking down below 3,375, I'm going to say, oh, okay, well, maybe we're at least going to test down here first. So no new all-time high coming soon for gold while we're below 3,375. But while we're above it, yeah, okay, fine. Let's just do something like that and then onwards and upwards. Quite possibly what you might see is the following, and then we do that. And that would be the kicker, I would say. Okay, now again, positive for gold over the longer term. Much, much higher than here over the next years coming. Just been in a bit of a range at the moment. But yeah, still technically, while above 3,375, a new all-time high in gold is coming within weeks, I tells you. Within weeks. But yeah, let's just hold 3,375. That's all you really need to know. And if we break that uptrend line, then we'll just talk about lower prices potentially. But we're not there yet. Cool. That's it. That's gold. GDX. I know, that was quick, wasn't it? GDX, which is the Gold Miners Index, similar thing. It's just ranging. It's being a bit of a what's the word? Fickle mistress at the moment. Okay, just ranging in between here and here. So you're kind of like in a mini accumulation zone, and it has to crack through 54.60 roughly. That final hurdle, I think I've got at 55.30. Right there is a key Fibonacci. Yeah, might be just a bit of distribution and it's just starting to tick over for a little bit. Who knows? We'll just keep watching the price. If it breaks down through about $50.40, then yeah, then we'll say, okay, bit more of a dip happening, and that would see general gold mining stocks go down. Cool. Let's take a look at the gold to silver ratio. Gold to silver ratio measures whether gold is outperforming silver or not. Silver is outperforming gold. Massive dip recently. So silver has been outperforming gold. Absolutely. We're coming down to a key level here. And we've also gone into already extremely oversold or undervalued in terms of gold here on the daily time frame. Okay, we're also setting up for some potential bearish divergence on bullish divergence on the ratio, which means actually it might be time for silver to take a break and gold might take center stage for a little bit. What am I talking about? The fact that we're coming down to, now why do I still have that one in? Let me have a look on the weekly. Let me get rid of you. Oh, that's why. Okay, so that's the weekly, trend line going all the way through there, and I've not moved it there. Why not? No, I'm going to keep it there. I think we're coming down to the key level here of that uptrend line, and that uptrend line I think might bounce off there, and what that will do, I'm giving you motion sickness here. What that's doing is potentially setting up for a lower high and then a higher high in the relative strength index. So kind of something like this-ish. And that might just set up some bullish divergence, meaning that gold again just might have a little bit of its time in the sun. Silver might take a break. Now, both could be going up at the same time, but just one's rocketing up higher than the other one. Okay, I think gold's about to take center stage again for a little bit. Okay, maybe not just yet, but yeah, it will. So silver's just got to chill for a little bit, I think, in relation to gold. Let's take a look at... Yes, I thought so. Remember, I've been talking about this. Here's platinum on the daily time frame, price in USD, 1,420. The bearish divergence is currently playing out. My best buy zone is still in play. I've had to slightly move it, okay, because we had a higher high. So now I'm taking it from this low and this high. Now, here's an interesting thing. Some people might suggest that rather than taking it from the bottom here, we might be instead wanting to take it from here. So I'm going to play the two sides here. So here's the more macro best buy zone currently. It's somewhere between 1,260 anywhere down to 1,120. Okay. But I do definitely think we are going to see some lower prices coming. Where we bottom out at, I don't know, but I do think we do. I do think we will. I'm going to just do this as well, because one could say this is definitely a pivot point. Okay, this is one of the things we've been learning about in Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. You'll hear a little bit more about that in just a few moments. But I'll take it from this high, this low, and this... I'll take it from these Fibonacci right here. So could the best buy zone instead be between 1,320 and 1,215? Okay, so 1320 and was it 1215 instead. It could be correcting just this move instead of that larger move. So keep an eye on that. Right there at the top end at 1320. So I could have been wrong on my macro best buy zone. It might be the more mini best buy zone here. Okay, so there's two options we have. Do any of those, let's see, is there confluence between the two? There is. That's around about there at the 0.382 and the 0.5. So that's there at the $1,270 mark. Interesting. Okay. I just find that interesting. So we might just be, just retracing that smaller move around there, because I've been learning about pivot points and market structures and things from Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. I'm going to do that a little bit later. We'll talk about that very soon. That is platinum. Let's have a quick look at copper. Dang, copper. I should have entitled this video, this live show, Copper New All-Time High, but no one cares about copper. Good. No one cares about it. Good. Excellent. Okay, that's what we want. Not a lot of people are talking about it. So that could be the one that has a big move, because silver, rah, 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 gold, platinum, copper, hey, the silent creeper. Might be. Here is copper on the weekly time frame. $5.86 US cents. We made a new all-time high in copper. No one's talking about it. We made it nearly $6. Okay, we've just broken out of its large accumulation range, and it looks like we might be moving in uptrend land right now. Cool. We found resistance at 1.618 roughly. Yeah, there you go, right there. And then the next move up, I think we're going to probably about $8.80. That's on the cards. So copper looking really good. If you're not in copper and you would like to be in copper, what can you do? You can buy physical copper. Bullion dealers do sell it. The premiums are higher because it's copper. You know, it's like they got to make some money off it, and it's hard. It's not harder to produce, but it's just because it's so cheap in price. The premiums are a lot higher. But you can buy physical copper. You can also just buy something like the COPX, and this is copper miners. All right, so here's COPX, the Global X Copper Miners Index. If you don't want to buy individual copper miners, you buy the Copper Mining Index. We are still rocketing onwards and upwards. Look at that. So we broke out of that downtrend right here. The downtrend got broken, got tested as support exactly, and then we rocketed up here. We're coming up to some resistance here, but we're through from this high and this low. That's on the weekly, Joe. Don't know why you're there. I'll pop you there on the daily. That's a little better. Let me go right there between the 0.382 and the 0.618. Well, anyway, there you go. That's much better. Look at that. That's much more solid. We broke through the 0.618 test. There you go. That's because that was off. Now that's testing exact resistance at the 0.786. Okay, and then where did it find exact support? At the top end of the zag zone right here. So that is ultra bullish for COPX. Okay, looking very good. In fact, I think I'm going to have to maybe take a position in that potentially when the US market opens, or when I can place an order when it's available to do that. I would say if you break through there, just watch here at $47.20. If you break through there, looking good for a move to the all-time high. Mate, after it's broken out of the 618, I'm going to really have to say that a new all-time high is coming for COPX, because look at this on the weekly. Yeah, we're through all those levels. This is really good. There's no buyers, there's no trapped money. Okay, where is the trapped money? Let me get rid of all that. Let's have a look on the monthly. Yeah, look, you're just in kind of almost price discovery. Excuse me. So I think COPX, I'm going to be looking at that very closely in the next 12, 18 hours, roughly. I might have to take a position on that because we're now through the previous all-time high back in here of 2010. As I said, we're through the zag zone. And look at that on the monthly. That's looking really nice. If you can just break and hold that 47.15, 47.20 level, just through there, the final hurdle, if you want to call it, that's looking really good. So copper looking good, COPX looking fantastic. Thank you. I will probably get into that, very likely. That is everything else I want to talk about in terms of precious metals. My funky peeps. Why does this keep coming up to me? I don't know. That's very annoying. And when you want to buy precious metals, well, you buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. Why? Best bullion dealer in all of Australia. No. Silence. That's all you need. That's it. No, I'm not joking. Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. 20 or more items in your shopping cart, not 20 of one thing. You don't have to buy 20 Perth Mint Kangaroo 1 ounce silver coins to get free shipping. You can buy one. You can buy 2 of another thing, 3 of another thing, buy a little bit of gold, bit of platinum, bit of this, bit of that, whatever. As long as there's 20 or more items in the shopping cart, it's not a dollar value, it's item quantity value. Then you get free shipping, Australia-wide, sign-on delivery, express shipping, fully insured, all that other stuff you get from every other bullion dealer, except they charge you for it, and Perth Bullion Exchange does not. Perthbullion.com.au. They also price match as well. Find something on their website cheaper at another major bullion dealer's website, and then just contact these guys and they'll match the price. Then they'll change the price on the website so everyone else can get the best deal as well. They have the most competitive prices. Okay, perthbullion.com.au. You know I love them. I've been working with them since the start of their business. Even before they started their business, I helped with the planning and stuff, a little bit of planning and stuff, with the social media side of things. As you know, I've been actually teaching Ricky at Perth Bullion Exchange how to create consistently engaging content. You know, I did it with Bullion Now, I did it with Ainslie Bullion, and I help Ricky at Perth Bullion Exchange do that too. If I can help you as well do the same thing with your business, not a bullion business, any kind of business, then hit me up, because that's what I've been doing for a very long time. Help me help you. Anyway, let's do some quick shout-outs. I really got to flatten down this hair today. What the hell's going on? You are watching Good Morning Stackers with the guy with an Australian accent with the high hair. Yeah, pretty much. Let's do some quick shout-outs, then we'll get to crypto and Bitcoin and stuff like that. Man, Gerald, you really get the things going. Gerald, I sold a 100-ounce silver 5 hours ago. Oh, okay. Had a couple of crypto picks do what they do. I see. So you sold some silver to buy some specific crypto that you wanted. Ah, speaking of MetaMint, MetaMint gets a private. I'm your private slurper, a slurper for money. Wow. Let's just you and me. No one else pick up your beverage right now. It's just for me and MetaMint. Okay? I can see what else. I can see through your laptop screens and your phone cameras. Don't you dare slurp. It's just me and MetaMint. Here we go. Just for you and me, big boy. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I'm your private slapper. Oh my God, that's going on the blooper reel at some point. Thank you for the super chat, friend. I appreciate it. That helps the show. It helps put me through school and everything. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. Mon just bought one of the 2025 coloured Quokka silvers. Oh yes, against my better judgment, but it's so pretty. Yeah, so you would have paid a pretty penny in premium terms but you know, for a collector coin, sometimes you just got to get what you've got to get. I've got so much pretty stuff that I paid a pretty penny for in terms of premium. I mean, take a look at this, for example. This is just randomly on the desk. This is, and I've showed it before, right? So this is the in the pretty box, right? This is the 2012 Silver Bullet Silver Shield. So back when it was Silver Bullet Silver Shield, Slave Queen. This is one of the greatest designs of a silver coin in history, and I'm not joking. When this came out, everyone was blown away because it's so simple, but the message is so cool. Look at this. This is from 2012. It's in the capsule. Look at that. You can see the reflection of my screen, okay? Look at that. Keep calm and slave on. This was sculpted, so the mold was this isn't computer generated. This is from a proper die, like a proper sculpture mold, and it's a big one. Heidi Wasweed is the sculptress that did this back in 2012. My God, just beautiful. Look at this silver bullet, silver shield. It's one of the best silver coins silver rounds in existence. Silver bullet, silver shield, a conscious solution to collectivist problems. Silver bullet, silver shield, just beautiful. 2012, 1 ounce. Yeah, anyway. From my cold, dead hands. Let's see. I won't go through all of Gerald's stuff because Gerald likes to get quite passionate about the crypto. Hey Joe, is Palladium worth having in your stack if you're already holding platinum? That is a great question. And I won't show you the chart, but Palladium, I'll show you the chart. I forgot to do Palladium, but that's okay. Palladium has broken out. This is Palladium on the monthly time frame. Geez, it might even close the month above it, but on the weekly, it broke out of its major accumulation pattern right there. It's bottomed out. Like platinum has bottomed. Basically, I'll give that an almost guarantee. Okay, it broke out for the first time. As long as it can close, and it closed the week above it, if it can close this month above that yellow line right there, then you're looking really good. Looking fantastic. Could have a bit of a dip down into that green box area, and that's actually quite normal. Okay, but if we close the month above, that's looking really good. And then this green box up here is where I'm expecting some major resistance. So that is anywhere from there to there. That's a 40-something% move. That could take, now, palladium and precious metals, they move slower than, say, crypto and stocks and things. Well, crypto in particular. So, that might take, a couple of months or a few months to play out, or even longer, okay? But yeah, you could get a nice little 40% move up to that resistance level, and if you're holding for the longer term, then just hold it for the longer term. The problem with palladium is, and I'll answer your question, problem with palladium is I wouldn't be stacking it. I wouldn't stack it because the whole GST problem and premiums and stuff, so harder to find. Not every bullion dealer sells it. When they sell it, the premiums are higher. They also have to charge GST because for some reason the ATO says, no, palladium, you must charge GST. Who knows? Just arbitrary rules. And D, when you go back to sell, if you're not selling privately, you would want to sell palladium privately, but then again, not everyone's going to want to buy palladium. How many buyers of palladium are there? There'll be more buyers when the price is higher, so that's true. There would be more buyers, so you could probably sell privately, so you could sell it for at least spot price. But if you take it back to a bullion dealer, you ain't getting spot price, man. You're getting way below. You're getting like 80% of spot price, if not less, for just for walking in the door with palladium, okay? Because it sits on the shelves longer, no one's as interested in it. So I wouldn't buy the physical, and I would stick with something like, yes, there is. And I only just realized this the other day, and I'll show you on the chart. We will get to precious metal, we'll get to crypto, etc. soon, but there is an ETF that you can purchase. ETP MPD. So this is it right here. Let me pop that on. So this is the, that's actually having a bit more of a rise. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so this is the EPT MPD. So you can buy this on the Australian Stock Exchange. It's like it's like the silver one and the platinum one and the gold one. So if I go EPT MAG, so AG for silver, come on, ETP MAG. So this is the ETF that matches the silver spot price in Australian dollars. Okay, so it's an ETF. You buy this if you don't want to buy physical silver, and if you don't want to buy silver stocks, you just want exposure purely to the silver price, but you don't want the physical. Now you could go to a bullion dealer and do one of their unallocated programs, but you could just buy the ETF. Okay, the ETP MAG. Tracks the price of silver in Australian dollars. Okay, same thing with palladium. Okay, and it tracks it in Australian dollars at the same time. So, but it does it at 1/10 of the price. Cool, makes sense. So currently, it's at 1/10 of the price. So it's currently at 185. So that's the way you would get into palladium. That's the best way I think you should get into palladium. Don't buy the physical. Cool. And just like with the, you see coming up to that resistance right there. And just like with the palladium spot price, you're getting into that territory. It's a little bit different. Yeah, up to here you're going to be your massive resistance zone. So first area of resistance will be at about 234 Australian dollars. And then once we get through that battle, then it's smooth sailing. So what some people might choose to do is they might taking a position here would have been better, but taking a position right there because you've broken through, that's actually not bad. It's pretty good if you took a position here, taking a position expecting dips along the way. So you could get a bit more of a dip, but if you bought here, for example, that's a 25% move instead of on the spot. That's interesting. Because it's in Australian dollars. Okay, that's why. And you could get it up to there, see what happens. You could maybe trade it if you want, because you can trade in and out of it really quickly. When it gets through that top end there, where's the trapped money? And then you're looking onwards and upwards. So yes, ETP MPD is the palladium ETF. Cool. Let's get on to some other stuff. Oh, you bought some physical palladium last week. Okay, I should have read that. Good on you. but you would have paid GST. The premiums would have been higher. And when you sell back, I would sell it privately, MetaMint. In my humble, non-financial advice, opinion. Where to buy crystallized osmium? From Space Miner. We've got to chat. We've got to get Space Miner on the channel. Sorry, it just takes so long. Let's see. Yay! Speaking of, Space Miner. Good morning, Stackers, says Space Miner. Let's see, people. I don't say palladium and gold for a reason. Cool, cool, cool. I've been stacking silver for a while now. Loving the run. Good on you, Stuart D. Absolutely. Did Joe say gold looks like it will go up? No, I said, I'm saying that while above 3,375, new all-time high in gold coming soon. As we break back down there, I have to flip it like that. Let's see. It's interesting because he's sometime between a month ahead of everyone. Who's a month ahead of everyone? Me? Sure. Thanks. Let's go. No. I'm going to do my quick little, I'm going to get into Bitcoin and crypto, but I'm going to do my, what I learned this week. Cool? Great. Here's my brand new What I Learned This Week segment. As you know, or as many of you know, and if you don't know, I have just joined the Mastering the Markets 12-month course. Okay? The year-long comprehensive. Now, this will act as its own little advertisement for Mastering the Markets anyway, but every week now on a Thursday, I'm going to sort of take what I've imbibed from what I've learned from Mastering the Markets, the year-long course. I've just started the course this week, and I'm going to try and spit it back to you in as a simple way as possible, and it's for your benefit, but really it's for my benefit, so I can see if I understand it, I should be able to teach it as such, okay, in a rudimentary way. Now, I'm not going to show you all the courses and the videos and everything I'm watching and all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to try and condense it into a very small little few-minute segment, okay? But I'm doing the Mastering the Markets year-long comprehensive course, okay? If you want, you can do it too, or you can do their 10-week foundational course. Now, this is actually what I'm doing for the first unit. So I'm actually learning this unit first, Dow Theory, Principles and Technical Analysis Foundations. That's unit 1 of my year-long course of the 4 units. Cool? So this is actually what you'd be learning if you were doing just the 10-week course, which you can do. And of course, that's all over at academy.masteringthemarkets.com. Is that going to thingo for me? No. But anyway, here's basically what I've been learning this week. And this is, I will tell you, this is stuff that, I'll go back here. This is stuff that I've been investing in stuff for a very long time. I have been a self-taught TA kind of person, subscribing to a million different people over the last decade or longer. So I've imbibed a lot of stuff. So I do understand a lot of the initial beginning things are like, higher highs and higher lows and market structures and things. But I must say, even I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think about it in that way. So I'm still learning things even in the beginning. So let's just take a look at something like, we use silver or something, or the SPX, something like this. Let's go, the SPX. Let's see. So what I learned this week is obviously some pretty obvious stuff here. The markets go up and markets go down, and obviously they go in 3 main phases. Okay, you have accumulation phase, you have uptrends, and you have downtrends. Okay, and all you do is you basically plot out, and this is the SPX on the monthly time frame. Okay, so you can see back here if you're getting equal highs and equal lows. So we'll talk about pivot points to start with. So I'll get rid of that, get rid of the RSI. We don't need that. This is on the monthly time frame. We're going to take, and actually I might even do it on the big macro. Let's do it on the quarterly even. Yeah, I think that's even easier to do. So quite simply, all you're doing is you're finding your pivot points. Your pivot points are the obvious areas where it's a significant high and a significant low, and then you're just plotting in your points. Okay, so this is the first thing we did this week, is just doing simple higher highs and higher lows. All right, stuff I've been familiar for a while, but it's good to do it again. So all right, let's just find your pivot points. Higher high. There, we've got that one there, you've got that one there, you've got that one there, you've got that one there, and you've got kind of that one there, and you've probably got that one there. So higher high, whatever that is, so lower high, and that's the first one, right? So higher, so lower high, okay, higher low, higher high, equal low, lower high, etc. You just kind of go through equal high, higher high. Now this, you can see, is pretty much in an accumulation range, okay? Because you're kind of getting mostly a smattering of equal highs and equal lows right there. So then this is your accumulation phase. This is how I understand it. And could someone else come here and go, no, I think, Joe, you've got that kind of wrong? Yeah, absolutely. But sure, this is kind of like your accumulation range after the downtrend right there. So you've been in a big accumulation range here. This is on the quarterly time frame. So there's your accumulation range. Cool? Pretty simple. Then, and we also talked about market structures, okay, and when you're changing market structures. So the market structures are, as I said, accumulation, public participation, and then an excess as well. So again, this is on the quarterly time frame. So there is your accumulation range, because you've got some equal highs and some equal lows. Then we started going into the uptrend. Okay, so accumulation, uptrend time. Cool. So that's taking it to a significant level. So we'll go as an uptrend right there, kind of like about to there-ish is your uptrend. And then we went into a bit of a downtrend. Okay, so this is where you're having higher highs and higher lows. Pretty simple. So rather than equal highs, equal lows, now you're in an uptrend. Higher highs. Okay, you could put that's a higher low, right? You just pop in all your points. Don't have to get them perfect, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Higher highs equal low. All right, so it hasn't broken its new market structure, right? So this was its first market structure, okay? Accumulation, sort of equal highs, equal lows, roughly. Here's where we changed market structure, right about here, okay? Right about there is where you finally broke out, and then you made a higher high. Now, some people say, well, actually, you changed market structure when you made the higher high, but for a trading perspective, you know that once you break through here and you keep going up a little bit, well, it's going to make a higher high. Okay, so that's the change of the market structure there. Cool, cool. And again, I'm telling this all to you to sort of solidify it for myself as well. Then you actually had a bit of a fake out here. Now, technically what you did is you actually, right here, you actually broke market structure right here, because you got a, where are we, higher high, and then a lower high here, and that broke that one right there, okay? Technically, that was a change of market structure, but it was a really quick one, okay? It was actually kind of more like a liquidity grab than anything else. You actually continued the uptrend. So let's see. Where are we? Highlighters, and then we just continued on our merry way, higher highs, higher lows, etc. So that's basically all we were learning. You're going through those phases, and then you've got your excess phase as well. Now, one could say, really, if you wanted to, one could really say this was the more macro uptrend. So this is more like your public participation kind of phase, sort of up to about there-ish, I think would be more likely to say, because we had a little bit of a dip along the way. But while I look at it now on this macro, it really kind of more seems like that is the public participation phase. And that's the phase in which some investors like to be in the most, rather than waiting for even the higher prices like the excess phase. So that's the accumulation phase. I should change the colors of these just for shits and gigs. Background, let's do a yellow, something like that. And then we'll go into the excess phase. So you get an accumulation, a public participation, and then the excess phase. And that takes it up higher, but this is the most sort of volatile kind of area. Okay, and that would be here and here. Roughly from here to here is your excess phase. Okay, and we're going to pop that in at around about that kind of reddish. So accumulation, public participation, and that's usually the longest. It's the biggest moves and the longest time as well. And then you've got your excess. Then what happens after your excess phase? This is where The real smart money was getting in the accumulation-ish, or they thought it was bottoming. Extra smart money is getting in at the very start of the public participation phase, okay, and riding that. And then a lot of people will decide to get out of the public participation phase, and you had that dip right there, and kind of skip the excess phase, because in the excess phase, that's where the public, like every man and his dog, is getting in, okay? And that's when you can see some explosive higher moves, but that's it's like the last splurts of the gas tank. And then after the excess phase, you are absolutely getting a big reset, okay? And that's, if you take a look at this is dead money this is your new accumulation range, okay? And this has been dead money for what? That was, it took until to breaking. If you had have bought at the top of the excess phase here at 1600 on the S&P 500 in the year 2000, all right, year 2000 until 2013 roughly, you would have been underwater for 13 years, absolute dead money. So that was the big reset. And that was what was that also? It was the new accumulation range. So that was there. Okay, so that became the new accumulation range, and then the market just continues, right? Now we're in, now we broke accumulation, right? Now we're in public participation. Some people are suggesting that this public participation might be over. Okay, so for example, there's your public participation to 2022. Okay, so it's a smaller public participation, and now many people, including the wonderful people at Mastering the Markets, believe we're now in the excess phase. Okay, so anyway, there's just learning about the three types of market structure: higher highs, higher lows, pivot points, etc. That's basically what I learned this week. And what will I learn next week? You will find out on Thursday. That was that. And head over to Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, and join the Academy, academy.masteringthemarkets.com. Let's get into Bitcoin and crypto. Cool. Was that clear as mud? I didn't say I was the world's greatest teacher. Well, that's kind of as I understood it to be. And you'll get another one of those next time. Gadget. Next time. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and crypto. Cool. All right, that's on the quarterly. No, I do want that one. Sure, let's just keep it on the quarterly for a second. All right, here is Bitcoin on the quarterly time frame, priced in USD, 118,000, nearly 119,000, heading back up. This is the entire Bitcoin price going back on the Bitstamp exchange all the way back to 2011, okay? Is that in a major downtrend? No. Hey, how about we do the thing we just did before? Why don't we do that on Bitcoin? Let's have a quick little look, shall we? Let me get rid of that. This is on the quarterly time frame. Righto, let's do our higher highs and our higher lows. Well, okay. Higher highs, higher higher lows. Pick a point, well, that's higher than that. Higher high, higher low. So what does it mean? The higher high is higher than the previous main big one, okay? Higher low means it's higher than the previous big one there. Cool. Lower high technically, but an equal low. Cool. Well, actually technically high low, because we do the candle bodies, not the wicks. Cool. Higher high, higher low. Fantastic. Equal high. Where's the low? There is no low actually. And now we're moving into another higher high. Are we in any kind of downtrend on the macro in Bitcoin? Hell no, we're not. I mean, anything can happen with Bitcoin, but it's looking really good. Okay, for Bitcoin at the moment on the quarterly time frame. Again, on the daily and on the weekly, on the monthly, yeah, you can have lots of months. You could have a lot of trapped money. You could buy Bitcoin here at around about 120,000, 119,000, and then get trapped for months and months. But on the quarterly time frame, look at where it's going. Okay, we know that it is going to go, I think, back to, it's going to go to $1 million. It's going to break through. Bitcoin will break through eventually this large uptrend channel. At some point, it'll get back through there. Ignore when. I don't know when, okay, but it'll get back into this zone once again at some point, and then that'll be the new normal once again. Once it breaks through there, holds as support, we're going to be back in there again. There's $1 million Bitcoin. That's not happening in 2026, by the way, right? This could be a right, whatever, but we're going to get to $1 million Bitcoin, no problem whatsoever, in an amount of time. Again, I'm not saying it's 2028, I'm not saying it's 2032, but we're going to get there. Okay, institutions aren't going anywhere with Bitcoin. BlackRock are huge into it, and of course all the others. So it's looking fantastic on the larger time frame. Okay, well, let's just show you the macro. So if you do not own Bitcoin as part of your general, I would say, insurance policy, okay, of your portfolio, then I think you've got rocks in your head. So own some Bitcoin and own some gold. Okay. 10%, 5 or 10% of your entire net worth in gold and Bitcoin, 5% Bitcoin, 5% gold, or 10% Bitcoin, 10% gold. At least have 20% of your investable portfolio in an insurance policy in case of bad times. Now, in terms of gold, you hold it for a safety net, okay, and it can also increase in value, as I think it will. Bitcoin you're holding because you're pretty much guaranteed over the next X number of years that it's just going to creep up and up and up. Cool. Let's see. Bitcoin on the daily, 18,900 roughly. It's holding. That's all you really need to know. Looking good. It's fine. Let's see, from this high and this low. That's where we're sitting. Yeah, that's it. Still hovering above the 0.236, and while we're above there, that's great, and that's all I have to say about that. Looking good. $200,000 Bitcoin at the moment could be a thing, and that's all the way up there. Of course, Bishop from Stormrake, stormrake.com, believes that $200,000 Bitcoin in 2025 is still a thing, and he makes a great case for it too. Did an interview on the channel. You can get anywhere down to, I know I'm a broken record on crypto at the moment, anywhere down to 108,000, and you're still fine. Okay, get into there, that's fine. We'll freak some people out. That just kind of matches this previous level back here. Okay, a bit of a below resistance. Okay, right there, that'll freak some people out. Maybe some people will panic sell, and then sucked in, and then onwards and upwards we go. I'm so bullish on Bitcoin over the longer term. Not even funny. But let's, on the opposite side of things, what would go, oh crap, no, Bitcoin's over for a good period of time. It's a super cycle, and the super cycle is done. You would say closing anywhere down below that $90,000 level. You close below there, bad news bears for Bitcoin for a decent period of time. It could be like done for a long time. We're nowhere near it. We're at bloody nearly $120,000. Okay, we're close to all-time highs. It's looking good. This is just blips along the way to $1 million Bitcoin, in my opinion. Cool. So that is Bitcoin. Altcoins, different story. Altcoins, different story. Okay, here is others, the altcoin market, general altcoin market, and we found exact support right here at that $280 billion level, which I have been talking about previously. So let me get rid of that one for you. That was a little intraday alert that I had. And look at this. I had that drawn in previously. Cool. Well, there you go. From this high and this low. Of course, this is tracking the general altcoin market. It's all the altcoins in the world that exist now, minus the top 10. Cool. So we found that basically exact resistance at that $315 billion area. From this high and this low was the 0.5 Fibonacci. Cool. It started to tick over. We went into extremely overvalued, overbought, and now we're heading down a bit. We're probably heading down a bit further, most likely. It very usually does not do the following, where it just has a big dip and then it just goes in the next couple of days, just goes shrunk like that. That can happen, but on balance of probability, we'll probably see some slightly lower prices. And just like David Bird, aka ASX Trader over at Mastering the Markets, has been talking about, you could come down, and I agree, you could come down to that previous resistance. So that's at 270 billion right there. So watch for 270. Cool. Does that line up with any Fibonacci? Now, isn't it interesting we found exact support at the bottom end of the zag zone at 280. I figured we'd find some support there at 280, and we have. Let's see. So now I need to get rid of you and you for the moment. Brushy, brushy, brush. And you and you. Okay, so now we're going to take it. Here's the question. Now we have to ask, where do we take the low point from? Do we take it from this low and this high, or this low and this high? I'm going to do it from here. And where do we sit at? Ah, there we go. Cool. That is the one to do it from. So from that low and that high, exact confluence. And it's exact confluence. Fibonacci is the greatest thing in the world. Let's see. So between the 0.618, here's your new zag zone. And where are we? Does that line up pretty well? Yes, it does. You finding my voice annoying? Yes, you are. Cool. So from this low and this high, that's the one to use. Right. Found exact support. So instead of the support from that macro high and low, from this more mini low and high, it's exact support there at the 280 billion, and there's your 270 billion at the 0.5 Fibonacci, and that happens to line up, what do you know, exactly with that 270 billion. Okay, now here's the thing. You can cross through the 270 billion and still be okay. Don't freak out. What you would want to see is maybe a bounce off there would be healthy. Even down to here, this would freak people out. That's down into 260 billion. That's fine. I will even give it down to, because this happens a lot, where it gets through, particularly in crypto, they really love to shake you out. They fake you out to shake you out. I will even get down to 240 billion and I'll say, okay, we went through the zag zone, not great. We're bouncing off here, but I wouldn't be selling, I wouldn't be freaking out that we're heading much, much lower. I'm out of crypto, by the way, at the moment. I have zero crypto, except for some dust somewhere. No crypto whatsoever. Cool. I'm waiting to see what we do. But if we got down below here, I wouldn't say, it's over. It's like we're just down and down and down. I just watch out for that 240 billion at the 0.236 because it really loves to just take you to the absolute max pain on crypto. As you know, I felt max pain with crypto, so many times over the last 12 years that I've been in crypto, since 2013 when I bought my first Bitcoin at $98 each. No, I don't still have them. But anywhere down to there. And then, hopefully onwards and upwards. What I really want to see is that, just like everyone else, we want to see that dip maybe no lower than that 270 billion, and then rocket onwards and upwards. You clear that 320, then you'll be looking great for that move back to that $350 billion mark. Nope. Where is it? That was not the one, Joe. That's the one. That's the one? Sure. Yep. And back through the 345 billion. You do that. Watch for some resistance. But if you clear that 345, 350 billion, I am back in crypto so hard you won't know what hit you. Cool. That's general crypto. Let's take a look at some individual crypto. Some of my favorites, and get your chart requests in if you haven't done so already. You've been waiting for it, Toshi fam. I know you wait patiently. Thanks for your patience. Here is Toshi on the daily time frame, priced in USD, the meme coin of base chain, my favorite meme coin. As someone called me the other day, they said he looks like a normie, so he's going to entice the normie people to get into Toshi. Yeah, you could be true. I do look like a normie. It's the glasses that fool you. Right here. Ready? Clark Kent, Superman. Let's see. We found exact support. Where? It's exact support. Once again, look at the power of Fibonacci. Fibonacci and crypto go so well together, like coffee and chocolate. Exact support at that 0006 level that I talked about. So I said we had been flirting with the top end here at 0.00075. We'd failed to close above it. So I said, watch out, for a potential dip, and watch out for the support level that you don't want to see broken, which is at 0.0006 something, the bottom end of this zag zone. And on the daily time frame, exactly. I haven't moved these. This is just the power of Fibonacci. Okay. So far, while we're above here and above this trend, this uptrend line, okay, cool. That's just a dip. no problem. Just a dip along the way. I wouldn't want to see it preferably close below this trend line. Not great, and close below that zag zone there of the 0.0006. Preferably no thank you. Again though, what crypto loves to do is it loves to fake you out to shake you out. So we've just got to watch out for that. So if I do a quick little intraday fib from that high and that low, yeah, you know what it could do? Watch out for the fake out. If it does break, watch out for a spike down to 0.0057, because it just loves to get you. Because people go, oh no, it's through the zag zone. Oh no, we're down. Oh, we're through this uptrend line. Oh, this sucks, man. I'm out of this game. I hate it. And then it goes, ha ha. Right? What's his name? Not Ralph. Ralph's the one that gets bullied. What's his name on The Simpsons? I've forgotten his name. Let's see. So watch out for that. Okay. And obviously we just want to see the top end right here of the zag zone. That's the key level that you need to break and hold above 0.0075 right there. And then I will say, okay, we're through trapped money. Okay, we're through the people psychologically who got burned back here and then they're taking profits. And this is what they did. Back here, some people bought into TOSHI thinking, oh, it's going back to the Coinbase high, Coinbase listing high. And then it's had since May a bit of a downward movement, and some people are so impatient that they go, I'm getting out here. They've started to sell here. So the buyers have been sellers here. That's very normal. Okay. Once you get through 0.0075, where are the buyers? They're all out, man. Or the ones that are still in are the hodlers, the real believers. Okay. So then once you clear 0.0075 and close a day above it would be preferable. Then it's like onwards and upwards we go. And I really mean you close any day, preferably a week above that 0.0075, and that's real go time for TOSHI. Okay, that'll be probably go time for general crypto. And then, yeah, probably onto the all-time high, or going to test that all-time high. Anyway, that's TOSHI, the face of base. Do I have any chart requests? Let's see. Any chart requests for specific... let's see. CryptoWorks, no chart specific. HBAR. Okay, someone's mentioned HBAR. I'll take a look at HBAR. Sure, why not? Let's take a look at HBAR. Ah, bang. Here's HBAR on the daily time frame price in USD. 24.25 cents. It's done exactly not what I said it would, but it's following the plan exactly. That is exact. Shoot, man, look at that. So I drew that in hastily. Once again, the power of the Fibonacci and the zag zones and the trapped money and all that kind of stuff, right? From this high and this low. So very significant high, very significant low, double bottom right there. Double bottom with hidden bullish divergence. So you've got the zag zone. That's, again, between the 0.382 and the 0.618. I did have that drawn in, and I said, watch out for resistance anywhere between here and here, and we found it exactly. That's your trapped money there. Again, psychologically, these people got in thinking, oh, I'm going to be rich, and they've spent since January, okay, nearly 6 months underwater. These people here, these people in this range here were absolutely going to get out, or some of them were. And it's not until you can get through, for HBAR, get through that zone right there, get through 30 cents, just like I'm saying with TOSHI. If you can break through the top end of the zag zone, break and hold on a daily, preferably a weekly time frame, and close the week, close any week above 30 cents for HBAR, okay, rocket time. And I really mean that. I genuinely mean rocket time, probably. I would say, you close and hold above 30 cents on a weekly time frame. Then I'd say a new all-time high coming for HBAR pretty darn soon after that. Barring black swan events, barring, double tops and things. Yes, you got to see what else is happening with the indicators and all that stuff. But geez, you'd be looking really good. Okay. For HBAR, I preferably want to see it hold support here at the bottom end of the zag zone, which is at 23 cents. So something like that would be preferable. Cool, let's do that. But with HBAR, you can get anywhere down to there. And I wouldn't be freaking out. So that's at 20 US cents. Anywhere down to there is fine. So bounce off 20 cents and just onwards and upwards, but I'd really love to see that hold right there. That's previous resistance. You break through previous resistance, you want to see it act as support. So yeah, that's about that 23-cent level is the one I'd prefer it to hold, please, and thanks. That's HBAR. Looking really good, man. If it breaks and holds that 30 cents, looking really good. But you can see very clearly, we went into extremely overvalued on the daily time frame, found resistance at the top end of the zag zone, and then others was ticking over as well. So yeah, but looking good when you clear and hold that. That's HBAR. I'll do XRP because everyone wants to talk about XRP because it is the crossover crypto. I'll keep you updated on it. Here is XRP on the daily time frame, $3.22. We are back now, down now through all-time high, previous all-time high. So we made a new all-time high, great, $3.70 roughly. Back below there, not preferable, but again, it just could be a little fake out. What you need to watch out for, now we're extremely overvalued and we've been extremely overbought on XRP, and we're having a bit of a reset. That's okay, don't stress, it doesn't mean like XRP is just going to tank from here or anything like that. We just have some major support levels that we need to hold. I would suggest $2.60 is going to be an area to hold because that's just previous resistance, 260, 270. Let's see if that lines up with any previous resistance, lines up with the Fibonacci lines up. Oh my God. Where are my words today? I'm going to take it from this low and this high. Let me do that again. Can you see that? Ready? Let me take it from this low and this high. Bang! At the 0.618, which is previous resistance. Cool. Once again, for the win. The Fibonacci. Cool. So come anywhere down into here and you're fine. It's no problem. It's just a bit of a move. Do not cross below $2.60, and at that $2.60 level, why is that $2.60 level so interesting to you, Joe? Here is the reason why, funky people. Because it's the old school macro Fibonacci from this high and this low. That's at the 0.786. Can you see that little number right there? $2.60 was a final hurdle for me for a very long time. And if I pop in my horizontal line, you'll see it's not that one. It's not that one. There it is, $2.60. Final hurdle for new all-time highs. What did I say? So I said, so I'm just being a little bit gloaty today. My apologies. Let's see. That's, no, not you. Not Lockett. I said a while ago, from this high and this low, the 0.786 is my final hurdle. If you can cross and hold over $2.60, I will say, look, new all-time high coming in XRP. Crossing and holding over that. We finally crossed, we held, and we closed on a weekly time frame. So I said, okay, great, new all-time high coming in XRP. We found that all-time high. So far it's been a very small all-time high, but we did make it. And now we just need to bounce. Nowhere below $2.60, please and thank you. Otherwise, not good. And I'd say we're probably correcting a larger move, but we won't talk about that just yet. Hold $2.60, chef's kiss, no problem. That's fine. Cool. And then onwards and upwards we would go. And then, of course, I'm talking about higher prices. If we do see higher prices, I'm talking about the psychological value of around about $10, I think is very doable for XRP in a big crypto bull run. Or even higher, but just watch out for that sort of $10 psychological value. Cool. That's XRP. Anything else? Any other ones I want to talk about? I got my XRP. Neil says, I got my XRP for free, you son of a bee. Set buy order at $2.75. Thanks, Joe. No problem. Oh, let me just move this in here so you guys can see that a bit better. See, you set your buy order at $2.75. No problem. You have zero XRP. Well, there you go. You are, of course, you want me to do ZBCN. Of course, why would I not do ZBCN? For my ZBCN fans. Let's quickly do that, then we'll do some final comments, then we'll get out of here because I've been going very long today. And some of you have already disappeared because you had to. Here is Here is ZBCN on the daily time frame, price in US dollars, 000385. Not a lot to say. It's still in a trading range, and we found that resistance at the bottom end of the zag zone. So far, we found support. Let me see if that lines up with anything. Shall we? Does it? It might. From this low and this high. Close enough. Yeah, close enough for Jazz. Yeah, at the 0.5 Fibonacci. So great to see it bouncing off. Might be breaking through. That's good. Let's see. It's in the zag zone, and it's found support at the 0.5 Fibonacci. I just need to see it get back through, up through here at the 0042 area. At least get back up through there, and then we'd be looking good. And of course, as you know, my preference is here. Just like TOSHI, just like the other one I did before, which was that other one, which was HBAR. Okay, this is its major zag zone from this high and this low. It's right here at the top end at 0054 roughly. Break and hold that, close it on a daily or a weekly time frame, weekly preferably, and I'll say again. But that means just general crypto would be. So you could kind of basically pick any crypto almost, and they'd be breaking through and making higher highs, but that's really good confirmation for ZBCN. So I'm not in ZBCN, and I'm not going to be probably in ZBCN until it does that thing, which I just said. That's that. I don't think I have any other ones that I want to talk about because we've been running pretty soon. We'll do some last comments and queries, etc. Get your questions in. And of course, when you're ready to buy crypto, if you're a crypto native, you probably don't need Stormrake, stormrake.com. Unless you just couldn't be bothered anymore. Are you so busy that you don't have the time to go on the exchanges and do all that sort of stuff? Just let Stormrake do it for you, okay? They're a full-service cryptocurrency brokerage, stormrake.com. Now, if you go to stormrake.com and click the Create Account button, you can do that. It's free to join, but you will be paying 3.5% brokerage fees, which still isn't bad for a full-service cryptocurrency brokerage where you just email or call your dedicated broker and say, I want $20,000 of Bitcoin. And they go, cool, leave it with me, no problem. That's it. They just send you the bill. That's it. That's all you need. You just pay. That's it. You don't have to go on an exchange. You don't have to this. You don't even have to have it sent to you if you don't want, because they do full custody as well. They do cold wallets, hardware wallets, all that kind of stuff. Or they can teach you how to do that yourself. They'll give you advice on how to do self-custody. So you can do that. They can send the crypto to you after they've done the purchasing. And of course, they purchase for the best prices possible, okay? Now, they charge a 3.5% fee for their full-service cryptocurrency brokerage company. Cool? However, when you sign up with my link, you get a 42% discount, okay? So now, you should sign up if you think you might want to take advantage of them later on down the track, even though you're a crypto native. However, what about your friends and family, your normie friends and family who keep bugging or will be bugging the ever-loving hell out of you when Bitcoin's at $1 million, when Bitcoin's creeping up to $200,000 over time, whenever that is, okay? Or general crypto, if they hear from their uncle, oh, my neighbor's hairdresser said to buy XRP. Can you buy XRP for me? Or how do I buy XRP? What is XRP? How do I buy it? What's this crypto thing? You don't want that hassle. You've got your life to live, okay? Send them the gift of Stormrake, stormrake.com with my link, because they'll get 2% brokerage fees for life. Even when Stormrake raise their prices, whenever that is, I don't know, who knows if they ever do. But when they do, you're grandfathered in 2% for the life of the account, okay? When you sign up with my link below. So I would highly recommend, if you never plan to buy crypto through stormrake.com, send this to your friends and family. Get them off your back, man. Okay, just go, look, do Stormrake and go through these guys. They're wonderful. They're trusted, which they are. I would never bring on someone onto my channel which I didn't trust implicitly. And I've also spoken to Bisha, who is this sexy man right here. I've spoken to Bisha live on the channel. He made his case for $200,000 Bitcoin. That was on the channel about 6 weeks ago, roughly. You can find that interview. And he's the chief operating officer of Stormrake, stormrake.com. Sign up with my account. Do yourself a favor by getting the normies off your back. Cool? Stormrake.com. That's my amazing way to sell something to avoid pay. It's the pain avoidance persuasion tact. Final comments and we'll get out of here. Thank you. Let's see. Do I have anything to say? Oh, okay. Now Gerald is pumping his bags. You got to pump your bags, man. I appreciate it. Final comments, etc. Or are we just getting out of here? Wow, Joe has balls that go clank. All that knowledge and being a I think you mean a spectator. Somebody tell him this ain't no spectator sport. We know when you're ready. We know when you're ready, you will pull the trigger. Yeah, I don't base it on, and this is not an attack on you, but I don't base it on the could be's, and I don't base it on the I was going to say like pipe dreams. It's not pipe dreams. I've got to see confirmations. Okay, I'm here to provide for my family. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to put it all on red or black and then see what happens. I've got to see it get through certain levels, and I'm not saying you're doing that because I love the fact, Gerald, that you have like ultimate confidence. It's really good. But for me, I just got to play a little bit more safe because, that's just my bag, baby. That's it, my funky people. You have watched Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main, live on Tuesdays and on Thursdays, and all the other amazing stuff I do in between, where I do precious metals analysis, crypto analysis, a lot of crypto analysis on X, and more so precious metals analysis and stuff on YouTube, because for some reason, when I keep posting crypto videos on YouTube, they get like 1/4 of the views at the moment, so it's very interesting, and I do it all in the same way, similar kind of thumbnails and whatever. YouTube is not liking crypto, at least from my channel for some reason, but whatever, that's fine. You get lots of crypto on X, precious metals on both X and on YouTube, and subscribe and all that good stuff, please. Thanks. You'll get another piece of content tomorrow at some point, both on X and on YouTube, and we do the final synchronized slurp. Grab your tasty beverage. Here we go. Oh no, I've got to set up the dance, because we do dance it out here at Good Morning Stackers for the final synchronized slurp. Got your tasty beverages? You have watched.
Good morning, Stack. Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
Can never get that right. I'll get it eventually.
Podcast time.
Grab it.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
Synchronized slurp.
3, 2, 1, go.
On the move.
Good work, people. Great live sesh. Stay safe, stay informed. Keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I'll see you later. Bye. See ya.